Hey
Yeah.
everybody! It's Just Roll With It, episode 5. You can watch this one or last week's or episode 1. I still haven't put up episode 2 and 3. We're gonna go around and
That's a
do.
great song, Danny.
Thank you. It's our theme song. I made it up last night.
Wow, those are really specific lyrics for a theme song.
I we were talking about TGIF, the family programming on ABC.
Yep.
Back in the day. So I feel like maybe we'll just get a nice little syndicate. TGIM. Thank God it's Monday.
I
Hey,
don't think it's going to catch on.
thanks. That's the attitude we need. The positivity.
But maybe.
um, Speaking of positivity, I'm going to start with introducing over here Mr. Scott Lichter, a positive human being, but also playing a really great positive character, Zep Wild Chaser. Scott, say hi to the people. What's good with Scott's life, and how? What? Give us the Zep elevator pitch. And this is what I'm going to ask everybody. What's good with you? And what's your elevator pitch as a character? Who are you? Go for it.
Howdy, folks. What's good with me as a person?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I heard back from a job that I thought forgot about me. So I'm very excited about that. Haven't interviewed in any way, but still, they're remembering me.
Nice.
Uh,
Top of mind, baby.
yeah. Zep almost died. Almost died last time. So there's a lot to deal with. I don't remember. Somebody saved my life. Who was it? Nate? Was it? I mean, not
I
Nate.
believe it was Pando
Holster?
cast Cure
Pando.
Wounds. Yeah.
Saved my life. So-
Your buddy from the
So I'm forever indebted to Pando. So there may be some repercussions around that.
Maybe. Maybe. Mr. Nate Tyson playing Quentin Hallsteyer, going by Hallsteyer on this island.
Yep.
Nate, what's good with you? And what's your elevator pitch for Hallsteyer in these moments?
I'm doing well. I've been catching up on a lot of movies I've meant to watch since we've all been quarantined, slash, I did that already. And I watched a movie called Sallow or 120 Days of Sodom today. So for anyone who has seen that movie or knows what it is, my day has been weird. Uh, Other than that, Quentin Hallsteyer is a bard, and he is loves trafficking in with the sort of rougher trade of the world. Not in the way that sounds, but in the sort of scummier parts of town. He loves to steal from the rich and give to the poor. That's
Very, very much more Robin Hood and less the villains from the movie Taken. Is I think what we want to clarify there.
Also, I think rough trade means something different. Being
Certainly
into rough
sounds like it
trade
does.
is not what he's into.
names only.
Names only.
Sure, sure. Sheila, how are you today? And also, give us Pando's elevator pitch. What's happening with her?
Sheila is doing great. I'm sitting out here on my sister's little porch.
Nice,
Check out the
classic
tree.
druid.
Classic druid. Doing well. Just finished a book this weekend, and I'm about to finish another book, so that's exciting. And this book, as we segue into Pando, was about trees, and it got me feeling really good about trees. And it's Earth Week, so that's really exciting. But Pando just got off a couple hours of meditation and feels ready to take on the day's adventures that are to come. And recently discovered a weird valley of a city with all these like tiny little monsters hopping about. And so Pando's very curious about what lies below.
Indeed, we will talk about those little monsters in just a second in our recap. But first, Tina slash Valerian. Tina, what's good in your life? It's been a while since we've caught up. And
For
Valerian.
those of you who don't know, Danny and I are married and in the same house right now. Um, Life is good. I dusted a piece of furniture in my home today. So
Can
I'm feeling
confirm. Looks
accomplished.
great.
This came after working a 70 to 80 hour week last week where like I did nothing in the house. So I'm feeling very accomplished about the dusting. On a much more exciting note, I play a character who's not boring. And she just was in an epic battle. She's a trident barbarian and Triton barbarian. She wields a trident. And she is very frustrated because the foe she was battling escaped, which is very frustrating. But she is currently sort of collecting herself, getting back to water, and the water she is by has some interesting fish that we are hoping to explore today, and I believe also some treasure underneath the fish was said.
Could be some treasure in this cave. And last, but certainly not least, Carrie Shannon playing the very originally named Cashinon. I don't know where she came up with that. But Carrie, how's your life and what's going on with Cashinon?
Sure. So Carrie's life is good. I spent some time yesterday reading Dr. Seuss books to my nephews on Zoom or FaceTime. We were FaceTiming. And that went pretty well. The 2-year-old was mildly interested, but the 4-year-old was very interested.
Nice.
So that was a success. That was very fun. Cashinon, meanwhile, has just been murdering and attacking with good reason, though. You know, she feels threatened. Her friends are threatened. So they are killing goblins. She's just now the adrenaline is really kicking in. She's also been getting like hints of things that tie to something like rumors kind of that she's heard in this world, and getting a very eerie feeling about what's happening here. So you know, she's fighting a lot, but her mind's wondering how this all ties together. So we'll see if she can, I don't know, put some things together as we learn more.
Love it. That was a great segue, great recap. Let's talk about it. As our characters alluded, there are a few different things going on at the moment. I'm not showing the map to everybody yet, but I am players. You guys can see it. Over here, Halsdyer and Pando, you guys have just found this whole little city made of mold creatures after a battle with a goblin who was driving a giant mech whose name is Grib. He was defended to the end by a hobgoblin named Harrow. Zepp knows that, played by Justin Eifert, rest in peace, and Zepp knows that hobgoblins would never typically defend goblins, and this was a strange change of the goblin caste system, as it were. But he defended him to the death, a very tragic death at the hands of Cashinon, a very tragic and long death at the hands of Cashinon. And Cashinon is currently standing over his body and has not investigated it yet, but he has just expired next to the remains of the goblin mech created by Grib, who is a goblin that the party has encountered a few times before. As Vlaren said, she ran her way over to a small pool as she was chasing Grib into a hole, but he got away. And she's found a hole that is filled with quippers, which Vlaren would know, being a Triton, to be a saltwater fish that is particularly known for its frenzied flesh-eating behaviors. You are all in this cave because you have been tipped off that there's some sort of shady happenings going on with goblins. Through your experience with them, you found out that there's some way that puppets are being made, and it seems to be that these puppets might be being created with the life force of captives and the like that goblins are bringing into this. We also did find out through Cashinon that Harrow has an emblem to the Plunder King, mythological pirate who has long since been dead, kind of like Blackbeard in our world, right? Like just kind of made up mythos around him. But it turns out that this guy might actually be real and might actually still be alive in some way, shape, or form, which would be crazy because that would mean he's hundreds of years old, close to probably 1,000 years old. So there's some shady happenings here. They're all investigating different things. This is where we find our party today. Who would like to start their investigation? Because we got 3 different branches happening here.
I feel like Pando and I'm not sure that we are a priority, but I know Pando and I are very interested in what's going on over here.
We're
Great.
very curious right now.
Okay, so what you guys have just seen was you saw 2 small creatures, 2 small men who look roughly like this, just pop out of a body, a goblin body that seems to have been moldering there for quite some time. They seem to have been born from this body and then leapt themselves down into the city and kind of floated down almost like mold would after making weird little sounds at you and then running down there. As you tip over the edge and look over the edge, you see an entire network, an entire village of these people. There are like little rope ladders and like little pieces of like mold and vegetation that they've seemed to create like little cliff homes in. And scattered throughout, you see little pieces of outcroppings of like this strange mold that almost looks like rust that seems to be eating away at different piles of metal. With the exception of all the way down and into the water, you see a cache of very bright metal that seems to have not been touched at the moment. But otherwise, this is absolutely teeming with these small creatures, probably about knee-high, little kind of mold creatures with like froggy eyes and like little mouths.
Pando, have you ever seen these before?
Ooh. I gotta say, in all my days in the forest, I've never seen anything like it.
They're little mold men.
Men made of mold. It's
A
wild.
whole mold city.
A mold city. I heard that was. Oh, never mind. I'm so curious what they could be. I mean, there's so many options. We could go down that way, or should we go down the other end of the cave?
Oh, I don't think we should go down in there at all.
But don't you want to know the other side of the story?
Huh?
Don't you want to know the other side of the story?
Oh, sure. Not this second, though. They popped out of a dead body. They could have killed the guy, or
They could have been eaten by the guy.
No, well, maybe, but that seems unlikely.
Maybe, Halsdyer.
Maybe.
Maybe.
It seems more likely that they are what killed him, or whatever it is that they are from here.
You're right. I'm definitely going to meditate on this tonight, and think about it. You're right. I think we could be patient and just observe what's going on.
Halsdyer, are you proficient in history?
If I had to take a stab, no, I'm not proficient.
Okay, Pando, you are in nature though, so go ahead and roll a nature check,
Okay.
and you can add a D4 because you're still blessed by Zep, and tell me the result of that score. So you'll roll a D20 plus your modifier plus a D4.
Okay. Plus nature. Okay. 14 plus
You wink
3.
every time you bless someone. I think that would be ideal.
17, and then plus D4.
It's multiple winks as I figure out which eye I can actually wink with.
Okay. 18. I'm so bad at addition right now. 14 plus 4 is 18, plus 3 is 21.
Okay, so this was a tough check. You needed a 20 to succeed, and you got there. So as you're thinking about this, Pando, you have actually, in the deep forests that you come from, you've actually heard tell of creatures like this.
Okay.
And these are a very rare form of mold creature known as vegapygmies. And they are a small tribal group of creatures that are sprouted from russet mold, which is mold that looks like rust and grows on metal. And when they kill something, or when a body is brought to them, that's how they reproduce. Their spores will get into the creature and then create new life from that. So thinking about this now, the two creatures that you saw pop out of the goblin body were probably gestating inside of that dead corpse.
Okay. Oh, you're on mute, Hallstar.
Pando, have you thought of anything else?
Well, come to think of it, actually, I do recognize these creatures. They mimic the forest, how the forest recreates life, and how through death it actually new life comes. And I am familiar with them.
Is it exactly what I said earlier?
Maybe.
Interesting.
So as you two are talking, you hear off to the side of you, off to your right around here, you hear a little drop, and you see that there's another puppet coming, and it actually walks its way over to the sad remains of one of the goblins that you remember had self-destructed and blown itself up in Valerian's
My
army.
face.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so there's pieces of this goblin there, but the main form is still there. This puppet is like a little stout thing, and it doesn't really have arms except for one lever with a net, and it walks its way over to the goblin and has to kind of throw its weight a few times before eventually enough of the net gets its way around the goblin, and it starts shuffling its way over towards the Vegapygmy kingdom. And it starts moving the goblin corpse over towards the cliff. And at the time that you are watching this and noticing it, you notice it's about to heave the body over the edge of the cliff into the Vegapygmy town. Do you wish to take any action?
Pando, real quick, what should we do? These things. Is this good that a body's going in there?
Well, it's good in that it means a new life could come out of it potentially.
You see it.
Right.
Hallsire.
I run over and I stop the puppet. I grapple the puppet. I hold it.
Okay. Roll a strength check.
Oh, that's not a good idea. Oh boy. Wow. Okay. I rolled. Let me see. An 18.
Okay. It rolled 10, so you very easily grapple this awkward puppet, and its little head turns towards you and kind of starts to bobble, but it is very much tightly in your grasp. And there's now a rotting, bloodied corpse of well, not rotting yet, but a bloodied corpse of a goblin kind of in the net next to you.
Okay. What are you doing, buddy?
It just kind of looks, and it does not have any way of talking. It has like a hinged mouth, but it just kind of goes.
Huh. Pando.
I'm running over. I'm running over to help.
Zep,
I didn't think this through.
You would have seen this going on, Zep. If you would like to join, you would either have the opportunity to join Kashanon in her investigation of Harrow, or you could join these two. So it's entirely your call.
Zep.
Zep.
Oh, you're telling me. Oh, I
Yeah.
forgot my name. It's like, yeah, I should probably wrangle myself on over to the tube over there. I do have to pledge my thanks to Pando. Hey guys, what's up? What's going on? Hey Pando, thanks for saving my life back there.
No problem, man.
Hey Zep.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm in the middle of something, Halsdog. I just wanted to say thank you so much. And do you need any flip flops?
You know, Pando, I've never had a pair of flip flops. If you're making them, I'll take one.
I have these on my belt. They were my great granddaddy's, and I want you to have them.
During this conversation,
Thank
Halsdyer,
you.
the puppet needed a natural 20 to break your grasp, and it got it after a few rolls. So it does wedge its way out. And from the kind of awkward angle of getting it out, the goblin does slump over the side, but the puppet was not able to release the net from it, and it all topples over and just kind of rolls down into the town. It does kind of like roll over one of these Vegapygmies as it was, but he kind of just like splats himself on the side of it and then just kind of like pops himself back up when it's there, just like, and like goes away. It lands in the water, like kind of right on the water's edge. And you see a bigger version of these guys, like a little bit beefier one with like spores over his head. He goes over to the side of the body and shakes, and a bunch of spores just fall onto the goblin corpse.
Pando,
Wow.
it's the circle of life.
It sure is. He must have rolled, what, 20 times down there?
He rolled a natural 20.
He rolled 20 times. It's a cycle of life right before our eyes.
What incarnation are you guys talking about?
There are these little mold men over here. What are they called? Pygmies? Vegapygmies?
Vegapygmies, like a monkey that's a vegetarian.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Aren't most monkeys, I feel like, would be vegetarian if they could be.
Well, we don't know that about all monkeys. I suppose we'd have to look into it. Anyways, Zep, you were just giving me this pair of flip-flops and this wild thing happened right before us.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Anyway, they don't seem to really care about us. They just seem to be going about their business.
Yeah, they must be friendly then.
I wouldn't make that assumption. I don't make that assumption about anyone.
What are they doing with that goblin body?
Oh, well, I think we've ascertained that this is their reproductive cycles. This is they're gonna have little mold men pop out of that dead body.
At this point, after the spores have shaken on it, you do see that a few of them are coming over to the side, and they have implements with them. But none of it looks like they have created any of it. It looks like all stuff that they would have taken from the goblins, like just like small like daggers and things. But the ones that do have implements are like carving off pieces of the meat and then just like I'm like eating it as they walk around.
Oh, well,
ew.
Yeah.
Truly, now it's the circle of life.
Now it is. I got to say, I'm not very hungry
No.
for a snack break anymore.
Hey, what are you little pygmies doing? What's happening there?
Zep.
Hello.
You notice right at the top rim are a few like a small layer of these little Vegapygmies, and a couple do pop their head up when you say that, and they have little tiny spears. And when you said that to them, one of them just goes.
Zep yells,
hey, buddies.
I would like to start making my way over.
Valerin's making her way over.
Okay.
Yes,
We're gonna
when I hear
pause
Zep yell.
here, and in the meantime, that this has been happening, Kashanon, you have been with Harrow's body. So let's go back, fill in some of those details, and then I would say by this point you would be able to join once you've heard that. And same thing with you, Valerian. We're gonna go back in time, take a step, and see what was happening with you guys. So Cashinon, Harrow has just expired. You see before you fairly well equipped and kind of well kept hobgoblin paladin, now deceased. And you are able to examine more closely the elements of this corpse if you would like to.
Sure. Yes. Can I rummage through?
Yeah, roll an investigation check.
All right. Let's see. 15 plus 2, 17.
Okay, and you can roll a d4 and add to that if you'd like.
4.
Okay, so that's a 22. So what you find on him is he is wearing chainmail as armor, which you are welcome to take if you would like. He also has a flail, two javelins left after he threw the others, a longsword, and a shield.
Sweet.
He has a common backpack, and he has a small reliquary, which seems to hold in it like a shaving of a bone. And it's in just like a small vial. And in that vial, you see just kind of like a weird purple mist that with your investigation check, you rolled quite high. You were able to see that it's a bone in there that is suspended and just hanging in mist.
My goodness. Can I collect? Can I pick up and carry all these things and also open the backpack?
Yeah, the backpack has just a few different items in it. It just has like candles in it, like some rope, typical things that you would see in like an adventurer's pack. You find in there. What you do also find in the backpack is a small vial, and within it, you see just it's almost like it's empty. You look at it and it looks almost entirely empty. But then again, you rolled quite well on an investigation check. You notice when you tilt it, there is a small rim of liquid that kind of shakes when you move it back and forth. You don't know what this potion would do, but this is a potion.
Potion. Okay. Yeah. Can I collect all this and then walk toward Pando, Hallsdyer, etc.?
Yes. Oh, and I'm so sorry. I forgot. There's one more thing that you do find in the backpack that's actually very important. So I'm glad I remembered. You find a note, and in it, the effects of the note are essentially, you notice that Harrow is called in it my proud devoted. It is written in a almost like scrawled and shaky hand, and it says my proud devoted. And the elements of the note say essentially this: Grib insists on trying to convince Jezranai one more time to come back to the flock. I doubt he will be successful. This means, even more so, that it is imperative that he must live. I doubt the abilities of Duggan, but he is necessary for now. As soon as my transformation is complete, you may dispatch him. And then the last signature on there says VL-R. And you would be able to piece together that was Harrow in his dying breaths said that he serves someone named Vincent Lacklear.
Oh, all right. And what was the first name in there?
Jezranai. Yeah.
Jezranai.
Mm-hmm.
My goodness. All right. So I read this and go, ooh. And then I put all the stuff on, and the shield and the pack and the potion and the two vials, and I start to trudge over toward my friends.
Fantastic. Vlarin, during this time, you are putting your hair back together. You're kind of just...
Who runs away from combat? We were fighting. You don't run away from combat. Who does that? What kind of leader just leaves?
You're fervently saying this to your own reflection, and as you start to calm down and your composure starts to come back, you do see past your own reflection the swarm of, as I said, very familiar to you, quippers down beyond. And just a reminder on our map, which the audience can see now, our audience of 0, I believe, you are down here looking into this pool. And I'll reveal a little bit more to you because you'd be able to see it.
Before I see the quivers, I see my neckerchief. And not only is it bloody from where I was stabbed in the neck much earlier that morning, but also it's torn, and I'm like a little bit upset about this. And by a little bit, I mean I'm very upset that my neckerchief has suffered so much. Don't really care that my neck was bleeding, that's fine, but this neckerchief is very upsetting. That's where the quivers are, all the way down there?
Yeah, they're all over the pool. They're swarming in there, but you do see beyond them that there is a glint of metal down at the bottom of the pond. And go ahead and roll a perception check. I said pond. It's more of like a saltwater pool in there.
Sorry, it was cocked. I'll roll again. Perception 18. Oh, I get a thingy. I get a duper. +4, 22.
You guys are rolling 22s. It's a body. There's a body down at the bottom of the sea.
That's gleaming like in armor or something.
Yeah. It looks pretty decayed. It looks very picked clean. But it does appear to have some sort of gleaming armor that is intact on it.
How far from me?
Down
and back in 6 seconds, or is it like a couple movements?
I would say that pool over here towards the rocks is probably where it feeds from the ocean. So it gets much deeper there. It looks like there are just like crags and cracks there. But this is more shallow. I would say it's probably about 10 feet down. You do have a swim speed, so you would be able to get there and back again in under 6 seconds because you are able to swim that quickly.
Okay, so my follow-up question to this is I'm new to playing a Triton, so when I can tell fish to do things, they automatically do them. Is that correct?
I believe...
As long as the command is simple.
I can look that up, but let's see. You... Aquatic beasts have an extraordinary affinity with your people. You can communicate simple ideas with beasts that can breathe water. They can understand the meaning of your words, though you have no special ability to understand them in return. So you can communicate a simple idea to them.
But it's not necessarily a command.
Yeah, whether or not they'll actually take that command is up in the air.
Okay. While I'm here. And it seems like dead body. Can I tell if it's like human, goblin? Like, do I have any sense of it? It's just
actually with a 22 perception, you would be able to tell that it's larger than goblin.
Okay, so some sort of humanoid, medium, armored body.
Yeah.
That I presumably in 6 seconds could swim down, pick up, and haul up, unless it had like some magical weight to it.
I'd say because you're carrying a body, yeah, you would be able. It would half your movement, but you still could get down there and back. That's yeah.
Okay, then I would like to the fish say, "Hello, fish. I'm also a fish. Don't harm me or cause me harm."
Roll
anyway.
Roll an animal handling check.
Ooh, I'm sorry. I have to switch. Oh, but I get a D4 and winks and magical winks. 20, definitively not natural.
Okay. Yeah, so You're pretty confident. You look at them, and they're like kind of all swimming in a frenzy. They're kind of just all around like they typically would be. And as they hear, you notice that a few of them start to notice and kind of like look up at you, and they do start to like funnel away from you.
And I'd like to put in like just my elbow for a minute to see if like they're drawn to me.
One or two kind of come up and bump next to it in a very kind of fishy manner, but they don't attack now.
Great, and I'll like officially sort of pet them back to just establish goodwill. And then I would like to dive in and haul out this body. My plan going in is if I cannot immediately haul it out to grab whatever is shining, I don't particularly want to spend a lot of time in the water just in case the fish change their mind.
Yeah, I would say you could do that simply enough. As you grab the armor, which seems to be the main thing, it does have like a dagger on its side, but it's pretty rusted, and that just kind of falls away. The bones kind of fall away as you bring up the body, so its legs and pelvis and kind of everything slip out. The head falls over, and you end up pulling up a suit of armor that seems untouched by the fact that it's been in the water for however long. With just a bone-caged torso and one arm as your way out. And the fish don't really seem to bother you all that much.
Thank you, everyone. Have a lovely rest of your day. And then is there like a goblin corpse anywhere nearish me? Like a goblin anything?
No, they all died in the main chamber.
Okay, then assuming we still haven't gotten to Zep yelling yet, I would like to go like take a piece of a goblin corpse and run back and throw it to the...
I would say as you were on your way to collect the goblin corpse, that's when you would have noticed Zep yelling.
Okay, so I'm going to back burner that and then come on over to Zep carrying my thing. But depending on which direction we leave, I'm going to consider feeding a dead goblin to the fish.
Great. So what you see and you walk up is your party members with their hands up and two little veggie-pygmies on the side with going...
Oh, hello. Oh, not hello.
They don't seem communicative other than clicks and...
Do they breathe water?
Huh?
Do they breathe water?
Do you breathe water?
No, let me try.
Okay,
Do you
there-
breathe water?
Let me try. Hey. Do you guys breathe water instead of oxygen?
What, I don't know that. Why am I trying? I speak primordial. Do the pygmies speak primordial?
I believe they do not.
Okay, never mind.
I mean, you can certainly try. You wouldn't know that.
I think I speak goblin.
If you want to try to speak to them in either of those languages, you can.
Hello, in primordial.
Do you breathe water in goblin?
If they didn't understand me, they don't breathe water.
One of them kind of comes up next to Zep with
Aww.
his spear and just kind of like starts to bring his froggy little neck up and around and sniff. And then he notices just past you, Zep, one of the dead goblins that's still sitting there. And he pokes at your hip. He's not stabbing you, but just like a shove, like a...
Get out of the way, Zep. I think he wants to go through.
All right, I'll just step to the side and...
Roll an insight check, Zep.
It's going over my head right now. That's a D20. Oh, wait, I found a new way to roll.
I have a new way to...
7 plus... I'm sorry, I'm so slow.
That's okay.
Insight plus 3. 10.
You don't really know what's going on. He's just
I'm
kind of
gonna
like...
stand still and just be like, I don't...
Hold on, it's Zep, and I'm gonna reach over and grab Zep by the shoulder and yank him over out of the way.
As you do that, the other one comes up and loops around to you, Halsdire, and starts to poke, and he also is looking over and gesturing at the goblin corpse.
All right, hold on a second. I think they want the body. That's how they. That's how they.
Could I just have an arm before you take the whole body, please?
All right, hold on a second.
Can I like put down my suit of armor and like go to like try and rip off an arm?
All right.
Just the arm. The rest is yours.
All right. Could you mind chucking it over afterwards?
Yes. Can I reach down, rip off an arm, and then go to like help them take the body?
Yeah. Roll a strength check.
Straight strength or
athletics.
21.
4.
Yeah. You rip it off.
Here you guys go. Just anywhere.
The puppet rolled it down the cliff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think you could just throw it.
Cliff and like get ready to give it a push, unless they seem unhappy about this. Boom.
You do that, and they look around to see any other corpses. Immediately not seeing any, they run over, and actually the two of them kind of split. They're still watching you, but they start to like go over and just pick pieces off of the puppets that have been discarded around. The one had a whip hand. They kind of like start ripping that off and like packing as much as they can carry around, still kind of holding the spears up at you. As you throw this other body off to the side, you notice that the little net puppet is like feebly trying to climb its way back up the cliff. And at the moment, they don't seem to be doing anything to it, but you do see a few of them eyeing it and thinking about taking the net.
Eyeing the puppet. I'm going to go help the puppet up. I like puppets.
Okay, it is like 80 feet down.
Oh, 80 feet down?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Are you sure, Holstar?
I'm doing it. No, I wish I could help it. I like puppets.
This place is creepy and disgusting. I don't like it.
I just have to give this arm to some fish. I'll be right back.
All right.
Macabre.
I'm going to go and I'm going to throw the arm to the fish.
These aren't your kind of pranks?
No, this is... I don't say this very often. I don't think this is worthy of a prank. I don't think there are pranks that could even be done right here.
This whole place?
No, it's terrible. I can understand now why my prank didn't work before. Because this place is anti-prank.
Well,
Got this armor from a pool.
What?
A prank?
From a dead body?
Yes, but I took it. Is that not how pranks work?
Nah. Valerian, we got so much. We really have a lot of like talking to do.
Okay. But I got the armor. Does anyone need any armor? I think it's special because it didn't like rust or the oxygen date eyes. Did that water?
I know what you're saying.
So
Yeah, we get it.
Yeah, good job.
It's shiny. The armor's still shiny.
Hey, Cashanon, are you particularly, I don't know, skilled in your studies in Arcana?
I'm not particularly, but look at all this stuff I got. You guys, look at it. I have 2 javelins. I have a shield. I have this kind of chain armor. I have this potion. Is anyone good at potions?
What kind of potion?
What kind?
I don't know. Oh, look, it's in this cool little vial, and it has a neat coloring to it, but I don't think I know what it is myself.
So what some of you might know is that if you actually taste a small bit of a potion, you might be able to discern what the potion is able to do.
Like cocaine.
Yeah.
Everybody's got to do that little...
Holstar.
What?
We know he's in the rough business.
I'm in rough three.
The rough.
Let me take a tasty out of that potion bottle.
Okay.
Now,
I
Zep,
would
not
say
too much.
As a cleric, Zep, you would be able to discern pretty quickly here that this is a potion of invisibility.
No, I can tell right away. That's a potion of invisibility. We call it a not opaque potion where I come from.
There are opals in the potion?
No, I don't think so. It's just not opaque.
Oh, they're not opals in the potion. I got it. Okay.
Yeah, quite the opposite.
Zep, it looked like you ate a candy wrapper earlier, but I guess that's just what your snacks look like.
Yeah, a lot of my snacks look like refuse.
How can you be snacking when we just saw?
Why would you refuse a snack?
We just saw creatures be born out of another body.
Yeah, I'm
Speaking
sorry.
of, as you guys are having this conversation around your feet, they are just like going and taking anything they can find, anything that hasn't been brought up. And Kashanon, one of them actually goes to pick up your boomerang that was discarded. And it's like starting to like move towards that, and you just barely catch it and are able to kind of snatch it away before it does. And it like looks and then just grabs and starts dragging one of the javelins that
No, mine. Can I go grab the javelin from it?
Yeah, you pick it up.
Ideally, could I pick up the javelin and look at the guy and say, "You can have the bodies. This is mine. Go play with your own toys."
He's hanging on from it, and he just pops down and just like runs away and like picks up
Bye,
a
have
puppet
a nice
string,
day.
and then just runs. And yeah,
Yeah, I've got some javelins that I threw. I want to go get my javelins back.
you can collect that a
Oh,
couple
okay.
before you do. Yeah.
Maybe we should go somewhere else if we want to maybe look at all of the things.
Yeah, these guys seem like, I don't know. Stick around in their territory. There's probably going to be pushing our luck.
Yeah, we have all this good new stuff. We need to get out of here before they take it.
Come to think of it, I am ready for a snack. So if we could just go sit down somewhere, we can go through it.
Yeah, let's get out of this cave.
Zep, you got some candy I can eat.
Yeah, I got lots of candy. Who do you think I
You
am?
don't
Someone
have
without
snacks?
candy?
I'm starving.
Yeah.
All right,
You
let's
Tootsie
go.
Pop?
What was it like over there, Valerian?
There's some flesh-eating fish, and some water. The flesh-eating fish were very nice. They let me go get the armor. And then I didn't really look too far past there. It was
All right,
salt
well-
water, though, so I think we connect to the ocean out this way. So if we all just want to swim,
They're flesh-eating fish?
well, I asked them very nicely not to eat my flesh, and it was fine.
You guys are talking over where Valerian was before, where her token still is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, but I was going to suggest, actually, hold on. What if we just head up this ladder over here?
this guy.
Yeah, that's the one.
All right. Yeah, let's go up this ladder.
I feel good about that. I'm not a big water person. Land feels like very safe to me.
The water is wonderful.
It's nothing against water. It's just I feel like this ladder's got a more promising ending to it.
If everyone wants to go to the ladder, that's fine. And it does seem that our new friends prefer to go down instead of up.
All right. I'll go up the ladder first.
Oh, Halsdire. So brave.
Not
Okay.
really.
You guys make your
An
way up.
entire battle scene that suggested otherwise.
Let's not forget what just happened, Pando. He was from a safe distance.
You got to see it from all sides, man.
Listen, guys, I'm not a fighter like you all right? There's no point in lying about that.
Everyone has their role. It's fine.
I saw you admiring my hiding technique.
I did admire Zep. A man who knows how to keep himself alive is a man I like.
Yep, that's what my nickname was.
You know what?
Man,
Let's all just take a moment and be really happy that we're still here. We have new supplies.
But maybe first we should look and just make sure nothing's going to jump out at us. That there are no more puppet human babies.
Sure. I'll sort of see what I perceive around here.
All right, roll a perception check.
Not a whole lot.
You look in, and it's pretty dark in there. And as a human, you don't have great dark vision. You see in about this distance, and you don't see much.
I'm also only half human.
Oh, you're a half elf?
Mhm.
Then I think you do have dark vision. Then what?
I think I do have dark vision. You're
Yeah.
correct.
Sorry, what you would see is there seems to be a fire pit in here that has gone out. Is not currently being used.
All right. Well, this was not a moment in which my usefulness was shown.
What are you talking about?
I don't see shit. Somebody else better look around.
How do you? What's our sign that we have good dark vision? Because I feel like I do. But
You're no.
I do.
Hallsire, what's your armor class?
15.
Okay, as you're standing there, you take 3 points of bludgeoning damage as a rock comes flying out from the darkness and just hits you square in the head.
Was that a prank?
Fuck!
Oh, it's funny like one, but I don't think it is.
Oh, jeez.
And you hear
Oh, okay.
you hear from in there. I heard what was happening out there, and don't take another step. I got more rocks.
In common or in goblin?
In goblin. I'm sorry, common.
Stop. No more rocks, please. We're not trying to fight.
No, don't you come any. Don't you take another step in closer.
Somebody
Okay.
strong. Somebody stronger than me. Go ahead and fight this guy.
Hello, excuse me in there. It sounds like that we're just in your space. We don't mean to be in your space, but we're trying to get around your space. Would that be okay? Goblins. Hi, I'm not a goblin.
Well, listen, I'm just trying to sleep in here, and I don't care about what else. I'm not part of any of this.
And neither are we. We're just passing through. What's your name?
Roll a persuasion check.
At some point, I will learn my stats. Am I still blessed?
Yeah. I think so.
19.
19?
Yes.
It takes a little bit time. What bats?
I'm sorry. I just didn't hear you, Danny.
What bats?
What bats? What bats? Oh, it's so nice to meet you. I'm Valerian. Could I maybe come just a step closer to be able to see you, and we
No,
can?
that's exactly the thing I don't want you to do. I will throw another rock at you. Do not come another step closer.
Okay, I definitely understand that, but I just want you to know I'm really beautiful. So, like, if you just wanted to look at me, if I came a little closer, you could do that. I'm also blue.
Roll another persuasion.
So not as good. Math. 14.
No, I don't care. I don't.
I'm gonna roll a persuasion check. She is the most gorgeous thing I've ever seen in my life. You're really gonna want to check her out.
All right. Go ahead and roll.
Wow. An 11, and considering my initial roll, that's pretty good.
He just says, listen, I don't, all I want is to stay in here, and I don't claim to be a part of any, I'm looking for a place to lay my head, and I'm looking for a place to collect my things. I don't need anything about what you're selling or what you're trying to bring in here. I don't want any part of what the other goblins are doing here. I don't want any part of what you're bringing in here. You take another step, I throw another rock. That's how this game is gonna go.
Can we pause for a second? You're only here because you were looking for somewhere to sleep and to put your stuff, and you went into this cave that had a bunch of goblins in it and these strange creatures?
Well, I am a goblin.
What? What are you doing here?
Maybe it's a prank, Zep.
Listen, I don't expect you to understand, and I don't have to explain myself. I go
fair,
where
he
the
doesn't.
safe is safest. This is safe. I get to keep my stuff. They let me pick up whatever I find and whatever's shiny, and I keep my head here and I rest my head. That's all I need. Don't take another step. I throw another rock.
We
I
killed.
weak. Go ahead, Carrie.
Can we just scurry past you? Right? We
There's
just want to.
nowhere to go. You trying to scurry past me? You're coming into my resting area. This is my bivouac.
Let's come at him from two sides and then bop him on the head.
I can hear you, and I will throw another rock.
Oh yeah, well, there's 6 of us.
I
5
have a shield now. I have a shield. I can.
I am sitting up against the wall at this point, and I'm kind of like out of it still, and I pick up the rock and really weakly throw it about 5 feet. What is that?
Okay.
Why are you whacking bibs? What are bibs? I don't understand.
As you're doing that, Hallstein, you take another 2 points of bludgeoning damage as another rock comes flying out.
God damn.
Can I move in front of him with the shield to try to keep
Are
him
you
from?
proficient in shields? I don't know as a monk that you are.
Oh, I don't know. I had one, so I thought I could use it.
You can certainly put it in front of you, but it's... Yeah, I don't know how that works.
Is anyone good at this shield?
I'm trying to see.
I am, but I already have my own.
I would say
And
as long
just-
as you're wielding the shield, you have disadvantage on ability checks and any physical ability checks or attack rolls. So you can definitely wield it and get the bonus, but you won't be able to. You won't be as. You'd have to like throw it down to go punch him. Is what I'm saying.
Please, somebody stand in front of me. Anyone.
I've got a shield.
I don't care. I'm almost dead. He's taken
Okay,
half my
so-
life.
Mr. Wookbat? What?
Bat.
No,
What bat?
Spell that.
Are you saying that there's a dead end here?
Saying this is where I sleep.
I understand that you sleep here. There's much I don't understand about what's happening, but I do understand that you sleep here. We are asking if we can walk past where you sleep you on to another point, or if where you sleep is the end of the cave.
No, you cannot walk another step, or I have lots of rocks, and I will continue to throw them. Do not
Don't-
take a
it's
turn
somehow-
around, go a different direction. This is where I sleep, and this is where I'm gonna stay.
Look, you stop throwing rocks or we'll come over there and we're gonna kill you.
No, why don't we just go?
I'm not gonna back down for some rock throwing goblin.
Zep, go kill him.
All right.
Avenge me, Zep.
You say that, and it all goes quiet for a second.
I will
like
hold up my shield and be ready to take out my trident.
I'm curled in a ball on the floor, and
Oh,
I move behind the door opening so that I'm to the side of it, rather than out in the open of the door frame.
I want to charm person him.
Go ahead. Do you have the spell up? Can you read the description of that?
You attempt to charm a humanoid you can see within range. It
Yeah,
must
you
make
can't see him is the problem.
Can I throw a boomerang at him?
You can, but you don't know where he is, so you would be throwing at disadvantage.
Does
Hmm.
anybody have a torch?
You all should. Yeah.
Just leave. We don't need to be here.
Throw the torch in and kill him.
Okay. I don't know who has a torch. Do I have a torch?
You probably all do.
we all
Yeah.
do.
Sure, I probably don't.
I just don't want to go in the doorway again.
I'll throw my torch.
You throw a torch in there?
Yes.
Okay. As you do, you see... Give me 1 second. This area revealed. Go ahead and roll a perception check for me, Pando. I'm going to move you up. You'd probably have to get to about there. He moved. Yeah, so you're there.
Okay. All right. 11.
Okay, you see a large empty area with a bunch of different bedrolls. There's a bunch of different like refuse on the ground of like old rat bones and different things that you imagine they eat. I mean, goblins are pretty filthy creatures, but you do not see anybody in there.
Okay. Well,
Actually,
looks
let me double check. You rolled an 11.
yes.
I might
Okay,
add
yeah,
that
you don't.
potion of invisibility.
You take it.
What?
You take
No,
it?
No.
he has it.
No, this goblin fellow.
All right. I have a trick that I learned on an island. Somebody, not me, I'm going to keep sitting over here. Two of you grab a rope on either end and run across the room with it and clothesline this invisible rock throwing bastard.
But then how? Oh, I wouldn't think that far ahead. Who am I kidding?
I'm also only thinking about getting this guy back for hitting me with rocks.
I also think we could just leave.
I gotta go with Valerian on this one, y'all. This guy has almost killed Hallsdyer with just rocks.
Pando, Zep, come on, avenge me.
Well, if we go back down, we're either going to go see the flesh-eating fish or go check out that weird mold town.
Or we could leave and eat things and sleep and then come back.
I am hungry.
I will say a couple things just that you might have missed. Valerian, when you were at the pond, you did notice, and you can see now from here, that there's like a rope and a raft going across it. There's another side to that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Is that what that was?
Yeah.
My bad.
And then actually,
I thought it was a pier.
Cashinon, I should have revealed this more. When you were over at Harrow's body, you saw a little bit down this pathway. So there are technically two other pathways to go at the moment.
Okay.
All right.
Not leading you anywhere. I mean, you do what you want, but there are, I think you were just missing a couple options.
I am fine if we all want to move on, but if somebody wants to get this guy with me, I'm also cool with that.
I'm going to say I don't like the precedent that any rando can just throw rocks at us and that we're going to roll over for it. I don't like it one bit. He's going to tell all his goblin friends all they got to
Doesn't
do
seem
is...
like he has any goblin friends, but I will run with a rope if you want.
We
I
don't
run
have to
because
hurt
there's
him.
Nothing in that room. That room is all clear.
What room?
The room I looked into.
We think he's invisible.
All right, let's.
Is he on the ceiling?
Ooh.
Look at the ceiling.
Yeah, roll a perception check, Blair.
Yeah, sorry, I lost my die.
The most absurd thing.
20, not natural.
20?
Yeah, not natural.
Okay. Let me just roll real quick.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you look up at the ceiling and you see nothing. But as you are looking down, I would say that you would have to get up to about here to do that. You do see just kind of pressed up and hiding under a pile of like clothes and rags. You do see a small goblinoid creature hiding right about there. He's mostly
You
out
ping
of
it again?
sight.
I can't see where you're talking about.
Yep, let me ping it. Give me one sec.
Ah, okay. Okay, then I would like to hold up my shield. So my AC for your reference is 18. I'm coming in. I feel like we've had this relationship now. I'm walking into your space. Please don't throw rocks at me. But if you do, I'm going to run and grapple you, and I will probably win.
Roll an intimidation check.
Um, 23.
He does not move, and he seems to like just
No,
kind
I
of
did that wrong. I'm so
press
sorry.
himself up against the wall.
No. I lied. 25.
He doesn't. He seems to be just immobile, and does not speak at all.
Oh, crap. He cast, like, I don't know that. I'm not smart. I'm going to start walking towards the figure with my shield up at the ready to try and grapple him.
Okay.
I whisper to Zep at this point. I think maybe I was a little punch drunk and we shouldn't have done this.
So as you walk a step closer, he is going to run over to here. And as he, give me 1 second to check what's going on there. Yeah, he's gonna run over there, and as he does that, he just like throws up like the cloth of where he is, and he scampers over to here for a second and presses his back against the wall. At this point, I would say let's have everybody roll initiative, because I think it's going to be easier for us to track what's happening in this in case something happens.
Which is not a blessing, right?
No, you can't use bless on that.
I got a 1.
Is initiative INT?
That's intelligence.
Oh, that makes sense.
Initiative, it's its own, like, weird...
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
I have 24.
Got it. Great. So Pando, that'll probably make you first. Did anybody roll above 20 as well?
I rolled a 20.
Okay. Did anyone roll between 19 and 15? All right. Did anybody roll 14 to 10? Okay. Did anyone roll 9 to 5?
No.
What'd you roll, Carrie?
An 8.
And then you rolled a 1, Zep?
Yeah.
Okay. Does anybody know, did Hallsteyer tell us what he rolled?
Oh,
No.
Okay, well, we know that Pando and Valerian will at least go before him, so we will...
He rolled 13.
What's that?
It says 13.
Okay, great. Hallsteyer, you rolled a 13? You're muted.
16 with initiative.
Okay, great. That still puts you in the same place. So the order will be Pando, Valerian, and then Hallsteyer in that order. So Pando, you are up first. You see him scurry his way over to the side there. He is not attacking you at the moment.
Okay. And I have to decide what to do.
Yeah, so this is actually a good time to tell you what you can do on your turn.
Please. Okay.
Yeah, if you don't want to take an act, so typically on your turn you can move and take an action. If you don't want to take an action on your turn, you can actually wait and take an action later. So what would happen is you can basically be like, if he comes next to me, I will grab him. Or if he attacks somebody, I will attack. And then if that trigger happens, you get to take your action later whenever that thing happens. But right now, you don't take an action. You can also take actions like dodge. And if you take the dodge action, that means that if he attacks you, you have he has disadvantage. Basically, you are just preparing for the fact that he might attack you.
Okay.
So those might be a couple of different ways that you would go in this particular situation.
Okay, I'll say if he attacks, then I will attack.
Okay,
back.
so if he attacks, you'll attack. So you're
Mhm.
readying a bow, I would imagine?
Yes.
Okay. Valerian, your turn.
I'd like to go and grapple him.
Great. You move over to there. Go ahead and roll a grapple check, which I believe is athletics.
Yeah.
You are blessed on this.
Yeah, thank goodness. Because that's an 11. 2 on the dice.
Okay, you go to grab him, and you're very familiar with water and the way that it moves. You lived in it. He slips out of your hand almost like water. It's like
You
this
just
weird
need a
fluid
hug.
motion. And you are unsuccessful in your grapple. Halsdyer, you are up.
All right. So I'm still up against a wall. Last I checked.
Yeah, you're right behind the door there. Yeah.
From behind the door. So is there any way I know that we're in combat. Is all communication attempts cut off with this guy?
No, you could use your action to convey like a larger message, or you can use a free action to say like a one-word thing.
Okay, I'm gonna do a larger message. Hey man, time out. Go about your business. I think we are not super interested in what's up here. Don't throw any more fucking rocks at me, though.
Okay. Do you move?
I stay exactly where I am.
All right, Kashanon, you're up.
Can I get through everyone with a boomerang, like around them or
Yeah.
over their heads?
You would probably have to move to up to like here in order
Okay.
to have a shot at him. But yes, you could throw a boomerang at him.
Gonna turn me
And
into a liar.
Yeah. Could I try to hit him like in the stomach or just try to like knock him down?
I would say you'd have to roll pretty high for that to be successful. I would say it's much easier for you to punch somebody and measure that than it is for you to decide to calmly hit them with a boomerang, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? That's a pretty precise shot to do. You can certainly try it, but you are probably risking doing damage to him if you hit him.
This is a tough call. This is a
You could
character.
also hold your action in the same way that Pando is. If he attacks, you could attack.
Okay. I guess since we're not sure of his threat level, I will hold attack for now.
Got it. Are you going to do that with a boomerang or your fists?
Fists. I'm gonna do fists.
Okay. All right. It is his turn. It is the turn of Whatbat. Let me make sure that my. Give me 1 second here.
What bat? Like, what bat? Like, which bat wears a bat? What bat?
Whatbat. Yep.
What bat?
He is going to use his action to dash, and because he has nimble escape, he can get past everybody without triggering an attack of opportunity. So he's going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and he's going to get stuck there. So actually, he can move there without using the dash action, so he will. I'm gonna give him an acrobatics check as his action to try to get past that wall of people. And I will say that he is successful in that. So he gets to about here on his turn, and that's gonna be where he is. And the whole time he's just screaming like, leave me alone, I didn't ask for any of this, and he's just running away from there. Zep, he is next to you. It's your turn.
I gotta try to charm person in.
And that is perfectly fine. You can do that. Yeah, go ahead and
you have advantage if we're fighting you.
With advantage, you said?
It says if we're fighting, then you make a wisdom saving throw, but you get advantage if we're fighting.
Got it. Let me look up.
13, it says.
Okay, let me look up his score there. Sorry, I just don't have his stat block.
I hope he's not very wise.
Yeah, it was not wise of me to not have his stat block up. Hey-o. Ooh, okay. Well, good news for you. They are not good at wisdom. Let's see if he rolls below At advantage. He does. You succeed.
Dag-nabbit.
No, it's probably the best psychic.
What was that?
I
What?
don't know.
Did somebody just say something?
I think there was like something playing.
Yeah, I don't know if that was an ad on my thing or whatever. Sorry about that.
It was me.
Okay, got it. Okay, yeah, so great. He, you do charm him, and I would say you have a free action with that. Now, when somebody is charmed, they regard you as friendly to them. It doesn't necessarily mean that you would be able to get them to do anything, but it would be like you would have the power of like persuasion over your best friend on them. So you can have a free action. You can say something to him.
Hey, man, we don't have to fight. We're friends. Just chill out. Tell us what's going on. We're friends.
Okay. We will stay in order here for just a second, but he does noticeably relax. Pando, it's your turn.
Gosh.
You're next to him as well, and you do notice that he kind of like slows up.
Can I extend some sort of like peaceful offering if
Yeah,
possible?
I believe you chose Druidcraft as a cantrip.
Yes.
You can create like little plants in your palm.
Yeah.
I would like to gift him. Oh, I would like to gift him the seed of an ancient tree.
Okay.
Can I do that?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
you can. As you extend your hand out and you do that, we're gonna actually jump ahead here, and we're gonna you're out of combat, so we'll just go to this interaction at the moment. But he softens and looks, and he seems genuinely touched that you gave him something, and he grabs it kind of almost like greedily and like looks at it and like inspects it. And then as you get a better look at him, you notice that he is like wearing a lot of clothes. It's not armor per se, but it's just like many layers. And
Okay.
he like has a vest on under like a really nice cloak that he has on. And he takes the seed and like kind of shoves it up into a pocket there and just oh, thank you. Valerian, I'll say it's your turn next if you want to do something, and then once we get back to his turn, we'll officially drop this.
Oh, it's so nice to see you. Thanks so much for stopping and saying hello. Yeah, I don't feel the need to do anything if he's
All right, Hallstein.
I'm going to be sitting here and I'm going to go, we good on the rocks?
And he kind of just nods and passes his hand off. But Cash9, you'll have a chance before he really talks.
Yeah, no, I want to kill him. No, just kidding. I have nothing. I'm very skeptical of him, but I'm not trying to do anything to him. So I'm just staring him down, looking for some clue that could inform something. But that's it. I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it gets back to him. He said, "Look, I think we all just got off on the wrong foot. I think
You sound like Louis Armstrong.
not my intent. I just randomly picked.
Keep going, please.
You know who I am actually hearing when I do it is the dude Charlie Utter from Deadwood.
Oh,
yeah. I just picked that up. That's what I think I'm probably channeling. And now I can't unhear it, so that's probably what he's gonna start sounding like more. But he says, I knew. Look, when we started this whole thing, it was just, it seemed just a bunch of us coming out and living here, and they didn't bother me if I didn't bother them, and it got out of control. And look, I heard the fighting out there. I heard Grib with his mech. I assumed the worst. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to throw rocks at this seat is amazing. I appreciate that a whole lot. And now that you get a better look at him, he's wearing a cloak that is noticeably too big for him over all of these clothes, and it is beautifully made. And it almost seems to like shimmer in the light of that. At points, he's standing right in front of you, but it's almost hard to see him because of that. Um, and yeah, that would be the main thing you notice. He is a goblin, and under like a little hood that he has here, he's almost got like a more purple skin, and like his ears are like too big and floppy, and they kind of like flop down like a dog's ears and kind of like curl up on the side there. As he's talking, he is missing like a whole row of his teeth off on the side there, and he has like a weird monocle on a chain that he's not wearing. It's just kind of dangling down by him.
What, Bats? You are such a fancy looking gentleman. You just are just so dapper.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. And to think we were just at odds with each other.
Do you mind if we like come in and just sit down a while, and maybe you can tell us a little bit of what's going on, and our friend here that you hit with all the rocks can like a minute?
Oh, yeah, certainly. Here, actually, I think I have something for that. He has a giant bag on his side, too, that he pulls up from under the cloak, and his hand goes down and in it, and you notice that he just, like, mutters under his breath. He just is like, ointment. And without even rummaging in the bag, he just pulls it out, and he says, here, go ahead and take and apply a little bit of this on those wounds. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, so you do, and it's an ointment. Go ahead and you heal 8. I rolled an 8, so you heal 8 hit points of that.
You now more hit points than I do.
Hey, what bat? Is that some sort of wishing bag?
Oh, I just it's something I picked up. I keep all my things in it. Yeah, I can. It's the neatest little thing. I mean, I'll never lose anything in there as long as I remember what I got inside.
That's cool.
What, Pat? Where did you come from?
Oh, I'm here I live on the far side of the island most of the time. I'm living myself in the caves. Is a much better situation than living out under the hobgoblins.
You don't like the hobgoblins?
Oh, it's not that I don't like them. It's just that they treat us like dirt. I mean, they kind of use us for anything that they need when they don't want to do, which is about everything. And Goblin can live a little more free out here on his own, keep a little bit more of his possessions, not have to give it back for the common good.
Actually, I think we do have a question. We noticed something a little weird. This is probably a goblin-related question. There was a hobgoblin who was taking orders down there from a goblin.
Oh, yeah, that'd be Harrow and Grib, I'd imagine.
Yeah. That's a bit of a reversal than the normal situation, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, a lot of the ones that came out to the cave here, they got the idea of religion in their head, and they came out here to think about that and bring themselves out to these lands. That wasn't I just wanted to be off on my own, but there's some sort of cult or something going on here. There's lots of dead bodies rolling. Again, I just slept next to some of the guys. I would hear them talking about certain stuff like being reborn, and then sometimes they'd try to convince me to be a part of it, but they knew I was just in it for anything I could find that I could drop, and they left me be, and I left them be.
Do the names Jezraniah or Dugan mean anything to you?
Yeah, well, Dugan, he definitely still, I hear him around. I can hear them through the wall talking about all kinds of crazy stuff. I know I know Jezra and I, they brought her in and they tried to sell her on some stuff. Dugan and Jezra and I, I think they're of the same litter. So they'd talk, but Jezra and I was good at making the puppets, and Dugan liked to think that it was, but I don't know if you saw some. There was a few minutes ago a little round fella with a net.
Yeah,
made his
yeah,
way
he's down in the pit.
Oh yeah, I doesn't surprise. That's one of Dugan's. I mean, they're good for maybe one thing, but not much else. The ones Jezra and I makes are much more impressive, but as soon as
Oh, those would be the goblin / puppet soldier things we've been seeing around.
well, I don't know if any of Jezra and I's actually ever made it to life. She was pretty upset about it when they said that they were going to be trying to do that.
Oh.
Oh, she didn't know.
Hang on, I think and he thinks about it. He pulls out a little. This is one of hers. She made a little one, and he throws it up. It's like a very well made marionette.
I jump up super excited. I'm like, oh my fucking god, let me see it.
Yeah, he shows it to you, and Hallsteyer, what you immediately recognize is it looks a lot like the one you bought.
Hold on a minute.
What's happening right now?
Oh.
Hold on a minute. You say that Jezra and I did this? What was that woman's name that we saw outside of the bar that I got
Clementine?
this
And
one from?
Humphreys.
And I hold them up to
Yeah.
compare them.
Yeah, you do. You show it, and he goes, "Oh well, I don't know that. Hang on a second." And he looks at your puppet and looks up like under the back collar of the shirt, and like scrawled on there like the little initials. It's just like JZR.
Huh.
Mm.
Did Jezra and I go by the name Clementine? Do you know what kind of creature Jezra and I was? What race?
Oh, I mean, Jezra and I was just about a goblin as I am.
What does that mean?
I should goblin.
Oh, why did you just say it that way?
Zip, zip.
I wonder that all the time.
Listen, I like you a lot. I mean, we got off on the wrong foot. I mean, you in particular, I like you quite a bit, but I think it's a little bit low to be talking about the way a person speaks.
Yeah,
I'm speaking your tongue out of courtesy here. It's not as good as mine. You want to talk goblin, I can talk your ears off.
Oh, yeah, I can talk goblin too. That's a thing I do.
Okay, he switches over to goblin and he says, well, all I meant to say was that she was fully goblin in the same kind of way that I would be fully goblin. It was just a turn of phrase that I suppose I might have misinterpreted in your life. I didn't mean any offense.
I'm sorry. We're all right. You're a good guy. You're a good guy.
Oh, thanks. Really. What's your name? I didn't catch it, fella, but I like you a lot. Your winks are really getting to me. This is still all in goblin. You guys do not understand it.
Wild chaser. Zep. Wild chaser.
All right, I understood that.
That's a nice, fine, nice. My name is What's Ear Flop. I'm sorry. It's What Bad's Flops Ears.
What Bad's Flops Ears?
Yeah, it's me. I come from the Flops Ears clan, and so.
Oh yeah.
Only last surviving one of my litter.
Oh, that's rough.
Zep, what is he saying?
He's from the Flopsy clan. He's only one surviving from one of his litter.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'll switch back to the common tongue for you.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, my bad. My bad.
You.
I do have this piece of bone. Does this mean anything to you?
Yeah, he takes a look at it and say, I know that all sorts of trinkets are given out to the people who really impress the fella in the back here that they seem to be worshiping. I would imagine that's one of those. It's quite nice. I mean, you looking to trade?
Oh, do you have anything? to trade?
I got plenty of stuff. What captures your fancy? I mean, for something like that, I could be convinced to give up something quite nice.
What's up with your cloak?
Oh, this?
Yeah.
Let the DM double check to make sure he's giving you the right
Cool.
thing.
Would I also know that he has a bag of holding? Like, is that something that once he said he can, anything he remembers, would we all know it's a bag of holding?
Roll a history check for you. As a character, I don't know that you would know that.
No way.
I feel like my character would probably know that, considering
14.
Hallsteyer steals bags or helps people steal bags.
Yeah, Hallsteyer, go ahead and roll a history check. Valerian, you don't know. It's just kind of fancy, cool, interesting bag.
And the cloak would.
I got a 16.
16. Hallsteyer, you are pretty sure that it's something you've heard of that would be a bag of holding, which is an enchanted bag that is meant to basically carry almost unlimited stuff. It is a bag that creates a pocket dimension that when the person who grabs into it recalls the item that's in it, then they can retrieve it from there.
That bag is nuts.
But you also asked about the cloak. You were looking up the cloak.
I did ask about the cloak.
Oh, yeah. So, well, this is a cloak that offers me a little bit of protection. I'd imagine I'd consider parting ways with it. That little bone floating in that purple mist, that's a mighty fine offer, but in order to take this from me, I think you'd have to sweeten the deal quite a bit.
Oh. How do you feel about one javelin?
Javelins!
I don't know that I can. I don't wield such things myself. I don't have much interest personally in any kind of weaponry, but.
What about you seemed very enamored by the tree seed that I handed to you.
Oh, I quite like it. I thought that was a gift, but I could offer some small trinkets and favors in return for something.
No, that's still a gift. We're not going to.
I'm just saying, there's more where that came from. If that would entice you.
Well, that's quite nice. I'd be willing to trade other items for something like that, but I don't know. From this cloak, I'd probably have to be something of equal weight, or maybe a little lesser than that finger bone.
Tell us about the finger bone. Why do you like the finger bone so much?
Oh, it's kind of neat. I imagine myself looking at it while it just kind of floats around in there and wondering about who it might belong to. It could whittle away what hours I have left here in this cave.
I would very much like to roll an insight check.
Okay.
This is the most fascinating character I've ever seen.
13.
13? He seems to just be interested. He seems to just think it's cool.
I'm going to pose a question here to the group, and feel free, Whatspat, to jump in here if you have a theory. What's going on with these puppets?
What are you talking about?
Well, Clementine claims she made all those puppets, right?
Yeah.
Who's Clementine?
Oh my goodness, Pando and Zep. I'm so sorry. I forgot. We found you in a barrel outside.
Yeah.
I feel like you guys have been talking about an inside joke for the past 10 minutes that we were.
No, I'm so sorry. As soon as we set foot in this adventure, we ran into a puppeteer and her husband right outside of a tavern. I, being a big puppet lover myself, as I do love almost all performing arts, I like puppets.
You said almost there. What kind of performing arts do you not particularly care for?
Spoken poetry.
That's fair. Continue.
Put a song under it. That's all I'm saying.
No, I understand that. I like a catchy tune I can remember. I don't like somebody just spouting off about things they see.
It always sounds very self-indulgent whenever anyone does it. Anyway.
We could dunk on spoken poetry all day.
I carry a book of poetry with me.
And no, you do?
I do.
Do you read it aloud?
As I meditate on it sometimes at night.
Silently, hopefully.
I might speak it verbally once in a while.
One of the
All right,
reasons I left the monastery is they started to get into spoken poetry.
They have in the monasteries.
I know it's a very progressive one. They don't know what they're doing.
Oh, that's the worst of all worlds.
Never understand it. They get up there and then they say, and they're saying all these words, but they're never saying what they mean. And then how am I supposed to know what they mean?
You might just have an issue with poetry.
It means something different to everyone. That's the whole point. It's all up for how you interpret
But that's
it
not
as a reader.
communication.
Yeah, it's
Communication is supposed to be making meaning.
internal meaning. Internal meaning. It's subjective.
Thank you, Zep.
Well, either way, my question initially here is, and Zep and Pando, we ran into this puppet maker and her, or quote unquote puppet maker, outside this tavern, and she sold me this, and I swore there was something up with her.
Was she a goblin?
Look, all I can say is that back when I was living in the old goblin bivouac under the hobgoblin, she would.
Talking bibs.
That's just what I call where I sleep. Anyway,
let's keep
the
going.
person who would make those puppets would use it to entertain the little children goblin, and that was Jezranai. She was. If you bought a puppet that looked like that, I don't know if it was a merchant that would have been working with her or what, but that puppet was made by Jezranai.
Jezranai. Go ahead.
The puppet that wasn't a puppet human baby beat death. Are the puppet human babies beating death?
Well, I can tell you that there's a whole lot of talk about a lord being risen again and transformation and...
This is the puppet show we saw.
That's what I'm saying.
You're right. Valerian, way to go. You connected the dots.
Like when you read a poem.
So much.
Pando, watch yourself, please.
Pando, this was a huge victory for everyone. So it's just...
Listen, Pando, I just met you and I just learned your name, and granted, 5 minutes ago I was throwing rocks at people, and so I understand what saying this is coming from me might not mean a lot, but I do think you should be reading the room a bit. I don't think anybody else is into poetry. I know I just met you all, and it's a little presumptuous of me to assume, but that I might be part of the job, the group here. But
I kind of see you as part of the gang. What, Bat?
That's very kind.
You're one of us.
What bad? I want to be best friends with you.
Question. Doesn't when his spell wear off, Whatbat knows that he's been charmed and is probably going to be pretty pissed about it?
After an hour.
Yeah, he's got an hour.
Okay, great. Just as long as you're keeping track, Zep.
You're going to have a blast with Whatbat for a while. Whatbat, is there any way out of this room or anything that you came from?
Out of this room?
Yeah, the one you came
This is my current bivouac. This is a nice little...
I'm sorry, what is that word again?
Bivouac?
Bivouac.
Bivouac?
Means a place you sleep.
Yeah, BIVOUW. Actually, I don't know how to
BIV.
Bivouac.
OUA.
Bivouac, yeah.
Bivouac.
I feel like getting further away from it.
You still want to live here? There's dead bodies everywhere.
I mean, I suppose it was better when I had some company, but I will say those guys were crazed and zealous. There was this one guy that was talking about how he wished he had a hat, and when he wanted to be reborn, he wanted to be reborn with a hat, and I got hats in a bag, fella. I can give you one, and it never made much sense to me.
No W, you're right.
I just accessed my memory of how that word is spelled, and I assumed it was 2 V's or 2 B's, not a mixture of a B and a V. Bivouac. Got it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the name of this episode now.
I have no clue what you're talking about there. What that? But the so first off,
I think we
huh?
We killed the guy with the hats. He's not alive anymore.
Oh, I mean, Yeah, I figured you killed a lot of people. I heard a lot of death and a lot of noises.
Not
That
a
I
one
just wanted to
lot.
be
guy,
honest.
did he blow up?
I'm sorry?
That one twitchy guy, did he blow up?
Yeah, on me. Like, this is him. I mean, I've been in some water since, but you can still see him.
Look, and I don't want to tell too many about the people's business, and I don't want to speak ill of the dead, but I saw that guy almost blow himself up in his sleep once. I'm not surprised that happened to him.
So now I'm not
I
even special and I'm covered in goblin?
yeah, it's about how it shakes out.
Yeah. We've
I'll
all
just
been
say-
covered in goblin at one point. I mean, it's personally, that's kind of part of being goblin. As I said, I'm the last of my litter. People die quick. I'm old and I'm like 5.
Wow. Well, here's the thing. We are we're planning on going further into this cave and maybe trying to figure out what's going on with all this resurrection. Because I feel like, and everybody can take a vote with me here if we feel differently. Whatever is at the end of this cave is not good for anyone who's on this island. And we are on this island.
Correct.
So I think that also includes you, Whatbat.
Roll a persuasion check.
That's an 11 plus a 6, I want to say, so 17. 17.
Listen, I mean, I guess I suppose I can't argue. I mean, if people are gonna come in and start killing the other people who live in here, I mean, you guys almost killed me too. If I'm looking at my own longevity, I wonder if this might be something that I might be concerned with. I'm not a fighter, though. I'll warn you that. But
That's okay.
I won't stand in your way, and I'll offer you any information I can. And again, if you want to trade, I do have some items that I'd be willing to part with if you're willing to give me the floating bone in a little jar.
Sure. What are you offering for the floating bone?
Well, once again, I'd consider giving you the cloak. You'd have to sweeten the deal just a little bit there. But I do have some other items I could think about giving you as well. I got 2 more uses of that ointment I gave you.
Ooh, that ointment was nice. Let me see what I have here. Ooh. Do you by any chance want this puppet?
I do already have one, but if I had another, that means I could make little shows with them.
It was pricey, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, you looking for the ointment? I'll trade you a tit for tat for that.
Yeah, I'll do that. It feels like the puppet is less purely joyful than it was before, so I don't mind parting with it.
Okay, I will send that to you in D&D Beyond later, Nate.
Word.
Hey, Whatbat, what are those creatures down there in that pit thing?
Oh, I don't go near them too much. I know the goblins say that they've got a couple different ways of getting rid of old bodies. Whether it's the goblins they've killed to make puppets or other people they've captured to make more advanced puppets and such.
It's symbiotic relationship.
Yeah. I mean, those guys were living in the cave, and they don't seem to bother much as long as they're fed. So I've heard some of them talk about another goblin kind of doing what I do in here. He might have been living here longer than I have been.
What?
That dead one.
Oh, I don't know if he's dead or not. I know that there's another goblin who lives with a spider somewhere around here, and he disposes of creatures too. They talk about feeding them to some fish too. I think there are a couple different ways they throw away some of the bodies in this place.
He lives with a spider?
Yeah. I've never met him, but he's on another side of the cave. Apparently, is a guy who's raised a spider up from a little youngin'.
Could you give us an idea of like the layout of this cave? Maybe a map or something?
No, I've never mapped it out. I only care about my own little bivouac up here.
You said you could hear people through the wall, or you could hear others through the walls. Are they just on the other
Oh yeah,
side?
this wall right back here, right behind me. There's like a little crack in the wall, you can hear him talking about all sorts of nonsense. There's a real raspy sounding voice. He seems to be telling. I mean, they think it might be the one they're worshiping. I've heard him called the Lord of the Puppets, Lord of Undeath. He's got a lot of titles.
Lord of the Puppets?
Yeah, I don't know. They seem to call him a bunch of stuff in this way that, when people get religious, you ever notice that when somebody's religious, they can't just have one name for their god. They got to bring up a whole bunch of different names for their gods, and that's kind of what they're doing, I think.
What bats?
Yeah.
This is such a delightful conversation.
Oh, I appreciate it. I'm enjoying it myself.
That's so nice. I'm wondering if perhaps we could all sit around your fire and perhaps rest a while. Perhaps even, help you stand guard tonight and get some shut-eye. And maybe continue this conversation, do a little bit more bartering, but if perhaps we could rest a little if we're going to then continue on to see if we can maybe get this religious cult in hand. Plus, you've just made your bivouac whacking bibs just sound so lovely. I'd really just like to try it out just for one night.
Oh yeah, I mean, there some parts of it. I'll warn you. Some of the guys that live in here, we didn't ever really establish one particular place to use as a rest room. If you I believe is a term in your common tongue. So be careful where you step. But in our goblin culture, you kill a man, you get his bed. That's how it usually operates. So I think you guys are entitled.
Thank you so much. Was there anywhere that you didn't use to?
I mean, that would be the better question. Usually the fire pit we keep clear, if only because the stink gets a little. But all other areas tend to be fair game.
The beds?
Listen, I don't ask what a man does in his bed, but I do know
all right.
Twitchy definitely was going in there a few times.
Well, I already have his blood on me, so.
So he did explode in his sleep.
Okay, so it looks like you guys are planning at least a short rest. Is that correct?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
To be honest, if it's appropriate to time and he's not going to turn on us, it's a really pretty well area, we could have the opportunity to hear through the wall. My 2 cents would be the long rest here.
Yeah, I like it.
People want a short.
Okay, so if you guys are planning on taking a long rest here, I will plan on that for next session, but I think that leaves us at a pretty good place to wrap up for the day.
We are a thorough group of explorers. We traveled 10 feet in 2 hours.
Well, 20 if you count the height.
And we went back and forth through the entryway a couple times.
I got hit with 2 rocks.
Oh yeah, you almost.
And we
died.
learned a new vocabulary word.
It's true. It's been a knowledge journey. Yeah, it's been real.
I think just for the record, Hallsdyer is working on a song about this. So far, the word bivouac has 1,000% inspired him to do something.
As long as
Oh my gosh, we should do.
poetry.
We're gonna do an open mic night one night when we're taking a long rest.
Pando, if you read fucking poetry,
I'm going to read poetry. I'm going to read poetry that I
we're not
wrote
doing an open mic
in
night.
high school when I was going through a particularly enlightened phase.
You went to high school?
I went to high school.
Is that an elf thing?
Yeah, it's big in our culture. It's whatever.
Her kind of elf it is, yes.
Mhm.
I wouldn't know. My father was an elf, but he left my family.
Oh, you see,
So you don't have to dig into that.
daddy issues.
We're gonna get into some Degrassi shit at this sleepover tonight.
Yeah, I feel like you're projecting, Hallsdyer. We're gonna.
I feel like I'm just observing.
I love what bat. So he sleeps right by this goblin gang, and he's like, "This is the best place to sleep." They're murdering people, but he's like, "Just don't bother with me. I'm good."
Listen, it is a tough life being a goblin. There's a lot going on there.
Oh man!
All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream, but we can continue talking here for a second. Hey, thanks for stopping by. If you did, it looks like we had 3 concurrent viewers. Thanks to those 3. This has been Just Roll With It. Wash those little hands, you little guys out there. Keep your bivouac clean, and stay in it. Don't go outside. Don't leave your house. Bye.
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 All right, we